LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
It's road course season in the NASCAR world. We go from, and it's all in California besides, from San Diego to Sonoma, from south to north. We're still on the left coast, and that's how that works. From beautiful Linden Station, Wisconsin, my name is Todd Bailing. I am joined by three of the best co-hosts a guy could ever have. A pair of them are sitting at Road America right now. Dan and Brian are getting ready for the start of what is supposed to be a pretty loud race. Did I hear that right?
Yes, it's the Trans Am Series is here at Road America. In fact, we're hearing the golden pipes of Alan Bestwick over the PA here. What a blast from the past that is.
Paul Menard and
Matt Brabham will be leading the field to green here in about 5 minutes for the Trans Am race. And then the feature event is at 1 o'clock this afternoon, which is the Cube 3 Architectural TA2 Series, which has 30 entries in it. It's like a feeder series. The Tristan McKees of the world, Brett Cruz, these guys you see in NASCAR now, they all got their start here. So Connor Mosack, those guys will all be running later.
Yeah, that's the race I'm really looking forward to. It starts at 1 o'clock. I'm able to catch that, and it's at a perfect time. I can watch that and head to Slinger tonight, so it works out perfectly. Nice day to be at a road course. We're at a road course talking about a road course.
and speaking of left coasts, Wisconsin's left coast, Trempealeau, Wisconsin's own, PJ Noodleman. Hi, Peach.
Hi there. We've got storms here, so hopefully they won't be heading over to where you boys are at today.
Jeez. By the way, summer returns, I guess, this week, right? It's supposed to be in the 90s all week and dew points.
Well,
in the
you know why that
70s.
is? You know why that is, Todd? Because the Cup Series is headed to the Chicagoland Speedway, and it wouldn't be a NASCAR weekend at Chicagoland Speedway if it wasn't hotter than blazes, because it's always
right.
That is
True.
what we call bitchin' hot. What Dan phrased bitchin' hot is the wheat roar on the rollers stands at the Chicagoland Speedway.
Yes, there's an adjective now, Chicago. It's hot, but it's not Chicago hot, because that's the hottest I've ever been at a racetrack was at Chicago that one year. And if you're not dealing with the heat, it seems like you're dealing with storms there. A couple of times we were watching the sky turn green, and one time we timed it right. Brian's like, we got to run right now. We can make it to our car. We just made it to our car, and it was pouring like crazy, like a turkey drowner coming down. We got there just in time to not get wet. In fact, I think Dennis Prunty was with us, and he got soaked because he didn't listen to us.
It's the gosh darn humidity that makes it so hot.
Yes. That reminds me. You sat in the sun at Vegas once and about cooked your ass, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was a dry heat. I mean, it was still like you're being in an oven, but it ain't nothing like Chicago heat. I mean, I opened my camera that one time, and the whole camera fogged up from lensing because you walked out of the media center and into the garage area, and everything just steamed up. It was a steam bath. So it's perfect timing. We're going back to Chicago for the first time in 6 years, and here comes the heat next week.
Yeah, that's how that works. Well, speaking of road courses, it won't be a road course in Chicago, thank God, next week. But it was last week, and oh my effing G, how about Corey Heim coming out of nowhere to win in his 13th start in the Cup Series? We knew this guy could drive. What's more important was that Denny Hamlin knew this kid could drive and managed to sign him to his team, and in a car that doesn't race very often at all. Probably the future of Denny Hamlin will be in that 67 car, by the way. But Corey Heim wins his first race last week. Here we are. I was at Slinger watching the ASA Series race. Brian, Dan was at Slinger putting it all on camera. Brian was at Road America. What was up there?
IndyCars. He was at the IndyCar race.
Oh, IndyCar race. That's right.
I started the day at the IndyCar race, and I left and had to go run the camera at Slinger. So,
God.
And all kinds of stuff was going on last week. Plus, we did dirt late models, the Outlaw late models at 141 that weekend too. So we kind of got it all packed in.
God. and it was fun. I mean, watching the text messaging between our little group was funny. It was like we were all sitting together, and yet we're all spread out watching Corey Heim. He might have a chance to win this thing, Brian said, and I'll be damned, but he did it, and a very, very impressive young driver with a great future.
Sources indicate Heather Gibbs was unable to get out of the bathroom from crying after that win.
You might want to fill people in on the reference to Heather Gibbs.
Well, her little boy Ty had gotten into a scuffle with Corey Heim, both on and off track back in ARCA days, and she just doesn't like him. So she's kind of been cock blocking Corey's rise into the Toyota pipe and not allowing him to come over to Gibbs Racing. So it looks like Corey found himself an alternative path.
There you go. He may have been a full-time NORP Series driver this year if she wasn't so dead set against helping his career, Brian.
And the coolest part about it was it's not a fluke win. So many times you see these first wins by a lot of these rookies and these guys that are running one-off races as like a fluke win. This was not a fluke win. That car was good, and he straight up passed the guys in front of him and dominated the end of it. He passed his teammate fair and square before he had the flat tire. So, I mean, this was about as impressive as it gets for a first-time win by a guy, not named SVG.
Yeah, no kidding.
On a road course.
And don't forget that car missed the race at Chicago last year. Remember, that was the car that went home that Catherine Legg actually beat to get the field. So, I mean, they kind of made a pretty good turnaround from the street races from missing the Chicago event to win in San Diego.
And a little payback to Carson Hocevar. I don't know how they can really go back 4 years and mentioned that this was some sort of payback when he eased the 77 out of the way, just like Corey Heim got taken out of a shot at a Truck Series championship at Phoenix 4 years ago. They're still bringing this up? Really?
It's just the TV guys have to manufacture drama all the time.
There you go. And it's manufactured. And by the way, being that it was a road course race, and as you may have heard us mention, SVG didn't win it. That's as big a headline nowadays as a surprise winner. Well, what happened to SVG? He got together.
Some spud, huh?
A spud. He called Austin Hill a spud, which we have figured out is New Zealandish for douche canoe.
Indeed.
And so there you go. We're learning to speak New Zealandish. What the hell is New Zealandish? Is it called Kiwi? That's what they call people from New Zealand, Kiwis. Either way, Austin Hill. Yeah, he took SVG and a couple other good cars out last week by overdriving. But, you got to look at the big picture. He's in the Cup Series full time now. He is the guy that is taking Kyle Busch's place since his untimely passing. And sometimes you just got to drive your ass off to stick around. And
he kind of flattened his reproductive unit on that one with his foot.
Sometimes you step on it whether you want to or not. It just happens. Ty Gibbs is on the pole today, which is as big a headline as SVG is not on the pole. Not only that, Van Gisbergen is sixth. There were actually 5 guys that outqualified him, and he's telling the media that he's got issues with the car, and they've got a lot of work to do before he's going to be in a position to win. Yeah. The question is, how many laps before he takes the lead?
Well, that's the thing with him. He knows how to find a good line to get around. He'll be fine. But, yeah, it is kind of shocking to not see him be on the pole.
Ty Gibbs, 95.738 miles per hour. Sonoma gets around in 1 minute, 14.829 seconds. The segments are lap 25, lap 55. It's a 110-lap race. It's going to be televised on TNT for the first time. The green flag is at 2:50 our time this afternoon. If you're listening outside of the Central Time Zone, that's a Central Time. And but perfect weather in the 70s with a 0% chance of rain. It's a good time to sneak away. We're still drinking a toast to Heim time. We'll be right back.
vintage racing, but make it epic. The WeatherTech Vintage Weekend with Brian Redmond, July 16th through the 19th, brings rare classics and legendary machines back to life at Road America. It's like stepping into a rolling museum, except everything is loud, fast, and very much alive. Perfect for car lovers, photographers, and anyone who appreciates old school cool. July 16th through the 19th. Get tickets at roadamerica.com, where legends still run.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800. Or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
3 cars are having to go to the rear today for unapproved adjustments. Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, and Tyler Reddick will all start at the rear. Let's see. Reddick was going to start 11th, and Bell was 14th. And Eric Jones was down a little further. As far as Christopher Bell is concerned, last week, they took him out of the race because they didn't want him to get hurt any further. Brent Cruz finished the race in the 20 car last week. But it turns out, more than any other reason, they took him out of that car because it was such a narrow street course with walls that were right there and pretty unforgiving. You could find yourself in a wall without a whole lot of effort, especially if you're racing around the Spud. But either way, this week, because there are no walls at Sonoma, Christopher Bell is going to run the entire race. He has a cast on his left arm, and he's got to get used to, it takes a little longer. It's like maneuvering the Queen Mary on the Mississippi River, having a hand, his whole left arm in a cast. So it's such a narrow surface, but good for Bell, good for them. I'm glad he's back, and it's good for our sport at the very least. Because TNT is taking over this portion of the season, they have a special thing for TNT, the in-season challenge. It goes for TNT's 5 races. It's the top 32 in points starting today. It's a bracket is what it's a bracket. That's what it is. And it pays $1 million. So the number 1 in the points faces number 32 in the points. I think that's what it is, guys. Either way, we're going to continue to eliminate one driver after each week until we get to the 5th week, correct?
Yeah, that's the way to kind of keep this stretch for races for TNT to have something to talk about besides the race going on the track. I guess something you can kind of fill in there. If the race gets strung out, you can say, okay, well, here's our bracket challenge, and here's who's up against who. It's just another storyline you can follow. And last year, I remember in the beginning, I wasn't very interested in it. As it got down to it, you kind of paid attention because you wanted to see who was going to win it. I don't remember who even won it, though. That's the thing that memorable. But yeah, it's something to try, I guess.
Well, if you remember last year, it
Something-
got all messed up because the first race was at Atlanta, on that drafting track situation, and that kind of screwed the whole bracket up. So this year at a road course, hopefully they're hoping it's a little more straightforward, and then you go to Chicago next week, which is another straightforward track. So they're hoping that it'll be a little bit more legit. Last year you had Ty Dillon was in the final with, I forget who he was up against, but yeah, it was kind of a weird deal.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Well, they like surprise winners. It's good for everybody involved in the sport. I think Ty was right all the way to the end last year before he was eliminated, if I remember right. And my memory is somewhat suspect at this age. A couple other notes from last week. First of all, I did think it was a successful event. Ben Kennedy, who's in charge of setting the schedule for NASCAR, says that he is interested in returning to San Diego next year. Whether or not it was worth it to the Navy is another story. There's a lot of work and taxpayer dollars. I would imagine that NASCAR had to come in and assure them that any costs involved were going to be absorbed by NASCAR rather than the United States Navy. On the other hand, personnel, there's things that you can't avoid that they're going to cost in a thing like that. The good news that I saw was that supposedly, and I don't know how they find this stuff out, 2 out of 3 people that paid their way in to watch at Coronado Navy Base last week have never seen a NASCAR race before. It was their first event, which, if that's the case, we do have an issue bringing in new eyes. I saw the average, I don't know if you guys saw that this week, they mentioned the average age of a television viewer is 61 years old.
Wow.
Average?
NASCAR?
That's average?
That's average.
Boy, that doesn't still do well for the young crowd.
No.
They're streaming, that's why.
Yeah. Well, yes, and that was what the whole point was. Prime brought that number down to only 57, but still a move in the right direction. By the way, Prime's coverage was outstanding, and our hats off to them. Their numbers were up from last year. Everything is going the right direction for that little 5-piece portion of the schedule that Prime gets, and congratulations to them. They really did a nice job with it, I thought. And and they brought that age down a little bit to only 57 years old as the average to watch. That's good news and bad news. Good news is it came down. Bad news, it's still pretty high, and we have to work on that. Hey, there was a rumor this week. I don't know who figured out. Somebody came up with the idea that, Dodge is going to come into NASCAR as soon as next year, and they're going to have to find a team that's already established and change them from whatever they're driving to Dodge, because you can't start a new one. Dan, apparently, this thing about NASCAR holding 4 extra charters for a new manufacturer isn't necessarily what's going to happen.
No, I guess not. Now, I guess there's maybe some question if those charters are still held or not, because now after the lawsuit and everything, if they're permanent, was that part of the settlement? I'm not even sure if we could look that way. They had set 4 aside for a new manufacturer to come in, and I don't know if they're still there or not. I guess they probably are, because it's NASCAR, it's EIRI, whatever we want to do. But in this case, there'll still be a 36-car field. It'll be an existing team that would go to Dodge, which the rumor, I think Jordan Bianchi had it in his article, that said it's as soon as 27. They thought 28 to 30 was kind of what everybody's looking at. Now, if it's ramped up to 27, because we've been running the truck series, what team do you look at? Probably Colleague, because that's who's running the trucks under Dodge. There was some talk that maybe the Keselowski's team would go there. I think that just became because of they need a charter still. And there would have been a way to get a charter that way if those ones that were held in reserve were used, but apparently that's not the case. But it'd be kind of cool to see.
Got up in front of the media and said, "No, it's not."
Right, and it'd be kind of cool to see Dodge back again, a 4th manufacturer. It'd be great. Colleague. Right now, they're not doing much with the Chevrolet. Are they the team to start with? I don't know. I mean, it depends what kind of resources you want to put into it, I guess. how hard do you want to go at it? Are you in it for real, or are you in it for just to be on TV every week?
How sure are we that Trackhouse is fully embedded with Chevy? With them building that new facility, I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Boy, a lot of factors to consider. We'll take a break and be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Vintage racing, but make it epic. The WeatherTech Vintage Weekend with Brian Redmond, July 16th through the 19th, brings rare classics and legendary machines back to life at Road America. It's like stepping into a rolling museum, except everything is loud, fast, and very much alive. Perfect for car lovers, photographers, and anyone who appreciates old school cool. July 16th through the 19th. Get tickets at roadamerica.com, where legends still run.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Welcome back to LTN. Thanks for making us part of your Sunday morning. We're glad you are downloading it and listening to it during the week. If you would like to participate in the program, you'd have to kind of tune in live. We're easy to find. We have our own Facebook page. We also have our own, what's it called? YouTube channel. YouTube channel. You can listen live on those, or you can call us at any time during the program at 414-421-7901. Weigh in on any of the things we're talking about. We accept telephone calls. There's a couple things. Two things I wanted to mention yet about last week's race at San Diego. Overall, I think a successful event. Bubba Wallace lost a wheel and got a 2-lap penalty out of the deal and ended up finishing second. Now, I apologize for this. Since I was at Slinger, I don't know how the hell he did it. He just got himself into the position, and for the cautions apparently came out at the right time where he was able to make up those 2 laps and then drive back to the front. That's pretty damn impressive, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. I didn't say make up 2 laps anywhere. I mean, it used to be almost impossible to do it. Now, I guess with the lucky dogs, you kind of have a little bit more of a chance to do it. But, yeah, anytime you make up that kind of and the last time I remember a guy making up 2 laps and driving on the front was Bill Elliott at Talladega, in 1985.
Under green. That was under green. That's funny. Also, the drama. So I call it backmarker news. So what we had was Noah Gragson last week, who never runs in the front, and Kevin Magnussen, who was a Formula One back marker, getting together at the back of this race and having a pissing match when it's all over. By the way, in Magnussen's, as a positive, he did have the fastest lap of the race last week. Did you hear that one? Isn't that beautiful? I don't know how the hell he did it, but he did it. Congratulations. So when it's all over, here Gregson, who got taken out by Magnussen, who was a bull in the china shop, basically, comes up to him after the race, gets in his face, and Magnussen is like, what the hell is this? And he, fuck off. And that was pretty much the end of that conversation. He kept saying it over and over, and Gregson tried to make a thing about it. And now that it's all over and done with, Gregson is telling people that he was warned not to punch him. Who the hell thought or warned Gregson that, hey, if you're going to go over there and confront him, don't punch him because your career could be on the line? That's
Nobody did.
No, that's his saving face, right, PJ? That's his. He looked like a fool doing it, and now he had to somehow try to make myself look better because I'm probably on the hot seat.
There you go.
And don't know if I'll have a ride, but now I got to somehow make myself relevant, so I'm going to go say all this other stuff. No.
Yeah, and he's also got an ego the size of Canada. He just cannot handle not being the guy that everyone wants to talk about. Yeah.
He showed some signs early, but, he's a lot of personality.
Did he really? I don't think he really showed signs. He is all hat and no cowboy, or however that saying goes.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
I thought he had a super long leash, and I thought that he had a lot of opportunities, and he finally figured it out and got some wins together. But most other people probably wouldn't have had that long to figure it out.
Yeah. All hat, no cattle. That's what the saying is. That is Noah Gregson. All hat, no cattle. He ain't no cowboy.
I think it's funny. Our girl Natalie Decker, I don't want anyone to think that she did anything this week or recently bad, any worse than usual, to cost her a sponsor. But she had a sponsor called Venturi Bold Brew. It's some sort of cold coffee or cold.
Yeah, it's a coffee drink.
It's a coffee drink. Okay. Well, they had supposedly agreed to sponsor her at Atlanta. What was she going to drive at Atlanta? Was that a Norp car? I think. Yeah,
Joey Gase's car, the Joey Gase team. That's the same team she's been trying to participate with all year.
All right. Well, they in their when they pulled the sponsorship away from that deal, they used the words that the conditions necessary for sponsorship to move forward were not in place. Who in the hell knows what that means? Did they not have a schedule where she was going to go meet and greet the people they wanted to? That's what it sounds like. Something to that effect. They're making a bigger deal out of this than it really needed to be, because it looks like she did something wrong, and she really didn't. It was pointed out to me recently by a very good friend who's in the racing business that said Natalie Decker is actually very good for the sport. Now, I'm thinking, well, I mean, she's nice, you know.
She brings horny eyes to the sport.
That is a thing, and the fact that she has such a social media presence should not be underestimated. There's a lot of people that are still mentioned in our sport. De Benedetto comes to mind. He had a great social media presence, and he hung around longer than his talent really deserved. And that's how some of this works sometimes. Haley Deegan, you know, what kind of talent does she really have? Well, I don't know, but she's great on social media, and there's a place for that. And as odd as that whole thing sounds, it's a real thing.
And usually they're around for a while, and then eventually the performance has to be there, or you're out. I mean, that's just Cletus McFarland is the latest one. You know, he's got a great presence. We'll see how long he lasts, and he can pull something together or not.
And it's going the right direction, Dan. I think it is. He's learning the sport while starting at the top level. That can't be easy. It's a little bit like SVG, except SVG is the greatest road course racer NASCAR has ever seen. And, with that kind of talent, it kind of works its way to oval tracks.
It's the same thing with Noah Gragson. I mean, we were just talking about him. Remember the wasabi thing? I mean, that guy was all about social media before racing.
Yep. There you go. And it's the reason they hang around longer than they really should. We're going to take a break. LTN returns right after these.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
A couple things. Ryan Newman is going to make his return to the truck series. Did he ever race a truck? I don't think he did. Makes his return to NASCAR. He's going to drive that number 25 Dodge at North Wilkesboro. If you think he's going to do anything in that, you can guess again. I wouldn't bet any money on him myself. If Tony Stewart ran around the back in that thing, Ryan Newman isn't going to do anything. But Colleague, probably the inside edge for switching to Dodge. Since they don't do anything to start with, you might as well not do anything with a new manufacturer and build your program from there. It seems like it would be a right move, but who knows? Either way, Ryan.
But if you actually look at Colleague's results on the Cup side this year, for a team that has zero tech support from Chevrolet and is getting nothing from them, they're actually outperforming several of the teams that get all the tech support. So now, once you get yourself into a new manufacturer where you're going to get everything from them, I wouldn't count them out. I mean, watch AJ Allmendinger today. He's on a road course. He's probably going to be a player as the race goes on today.
Yeah, he's supposed to be, road course specialist, but he doesn't get too much of the attention since SVG got there. I think on ovals he's average at best. He's a little better on road courses, and that's pretty much the program. I guess they told him he can have that ride for as long as he wants it. Interestingly enough, so we'll see how AJ does today. Dan, we were talking about those charters that NASCAR has kept close to the vest since they originally put 36 charters out there. It was always a 40-car field at a minimum, as much as 43. And when they raced on the West Coast, they would actually add a fourth provisional back in the day. So there was as many as 44 cars back in the day. However, number 37, 38, 39, and 40 are still in NASCAR's control. And it seems to me that when we're talking recently, Keselowski said those charters are worth anywhere from $40 to $80 million a piece. And there are some people that think they're worth more than that. NASCAR can't just assign them. Boy, I didn't realize this. PJ, long ago you said to me, they're going to have to figure out a way of getting a piece of the pie because they don't like that kind of money passing under their noses without getting a slice themselves.
100%. 100%.
So really think about it. These new charters. Maybe they'll say, oh, we'll save them for Honda or some shit. I don't know. I can't imagine. So we can build that price, put it right back up. Hey, the IROC Firebirds, which Ray Evernham apparently owns them from the years past, since Pontiac hasn't been a thing for 20 years. They're going to race them again with some of the guy. I think Mark Martin's. Did I see that right? That's almost too good to be true. They're going to run it as a backup, as a support race for that IndyCar race through the streets of the District of Columbia in August. And the drivers are some of the guys that drove them back in the day, right?
Yeah, that's the list that I saw. I didn't see an official entry list, but they said drivers such as like Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Helio Castroneves, I think was on there. Kind of like what the IROC used to be. It's kind of cool if they can put that together and have a pretty decent event. I don't know what kind of cars they have. Does Evernham have a bunch of them that collected?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, Ray Evernham had a bunch of them, and they did it, I want to say, Memorial Day weekend or right around there, maybe the week before. There's a road course across the street from Charlotte Motor Speedway that they had a big event for all these cars. They had them, I think it was on Racing America. They did a broadcast of it. And Ray Evernham's been collecting all these IROC cars from back in the day. A lot of them are the Firebirds, which was the last generation of them. Some of them are, I think, didn't they run an Avenger for a while, and some of the IROC Z. So I don't know what cars they're actually bringing to DC, and maybe they're going to bring them all and put them out there, and it's going to be more of a, like a exhibition deal. I can't see them going out there and trying to wreck them. And if you're on a street circuit, that's really sketchy in the first place. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have them out there.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's the drivers. It's always been about the drivers. And are you kidding me? Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon going to race again through the streets of Washington? That's pretty awesome, I think, all the way around. So maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. Dan, in 2 minutes, can you try to catch us up on what's happening with the Spire lawsuit? This week there was a counter move.
Yeah, a countersuit filed by Spire, and it goes back to an employee that Joe Gibbs took from them before this whole Gapehart thing happened. Robert Cheddar Smith, who's actually from Wisconsin, that's why his nickname is Cheddar, went from Spire to Gibbs, and apparently Spire claims there was an agreement there that they had to pay $100,000, or Spire could take an employee from Gibbs, like a player to be named later type trade thing, and they claim that they asked for 2 or 3 different guys that Gibbs always kept denying and wouldn't let him have and never paid the money. So they said, okay, well, we'll just take Chris Gapehart. That's kind of, I'm not sure how that.
Him without their approval, and that's what pissed them off.
Right.
But you know what? I think this is a bold move to get the whole thing just thrown out, which is where it should be as far as I'm concerned anyway.
I think, too, it could be like the lawsuit with the whole NASCAR and the Jordan thing where nobody wanted all the secrets exposed everybody. I mean, eventually it gets to, are we going to have to see what these trade secrets are you stole? Are we going to see what Gibbs is actually doing? Do they have to let that out, or if it's in court? I mean, I wonder if that could be. And as far as Chris Gapehart, he was kind of what his job title is and what his responsibilities are. But does the competition director at Gibbs a spot for super late model teams? Because Gapehart was doing that this week.
Yeah, how about that? Slinger Speedway had the ASA race last week. Tristan McKee, that number 5, that orange number 5 car, his spotter was Chris Gabehart at Slinger. Oh, my. Richie Waters' car, which is a Spire developmental team, by the way, in case anybody wondered. By the way, speaking of settlements and the one that we lived through all winter, as part of the settlement with 2311 Racing, NASCAR has Denny Hamlin sits in on competition committee meetings with I'm taking this right from what I read. Chad Knaus, Wally Brown, whoever the hell that is, Travis Geisler. Sorry, I don't know him either, and others. And they talk about, quote, the next super speedway package and things like that. That's from Hamlin. So this is all part of the settlement that was worked out, and it's still paying dividends. They should have NASCAR drivers in on whatever super speedway package they're talking about, and they're doing it. There's lots and lots of results to get to, and our team is ready to fill you in right after these messages.
As we wish America a happy 250th birthday, there's no better gift than cold hard cash. For someone else, that is. Let's go racing! Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. It's a pre-holiday Thursday night special. The Independence 30. Late models racing for $3,000 to win and $1,776 for the 360 sprints and special guest A-Mods. Plus, Wisconsin wingless sprints and street stocks. Dirt flies at $5.30. Tickets $25 for adults. Kids 6 and under free with paying adults. Check out PlymouthDTR.com for details.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Experience the roar and excitement of stock car racing at the world's fastest quarter-mile oval, the Slinger Super Speedway. Good Boy Vodka Veterans Night. Free admission for all current and past military. Gates open at 5, racing at 6:30. Affordable family fun for everyone. Kids 8 and under get in free, and it's just $40 for a family of 5. Don't miss the action. Get your tickets now at SlingerSuperspeedway.com. That's SlingerSuperspeedway.com.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800. Or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Another very busy week of dirt track racing across the country. We'll start Monday night. Ogilvie, Minnesota, the World of Outlaw Late Model Series is there for a $12,000 to win feature. Bobby Pierce continued his tear across the country, picking up the money there. Tuesday night, Eagle River, Wisconsin, the USRA Limited Lates. David Bennett was your winner. IMCA Stock Cars was Dustin White. Also Tuesday in Boone, Iowa, the Harris Clash for the IMCA Modifieds. Joel Rust grabbed the win. The Stock Cars was Trip Gaylord. Benton, Missouri for the UMP Summer Nationals. This is the only Summer Nationals result I'm going to give you because they have rained out now 11 times out of their 19 races this year. They're supposed to race next Tuesday at LaSalle Speedway, but LaSalle was ripped through with a storm last week that knocked a bunch of stuff down there, so they're looking to reschedule that one. It's been a horrible year for the Summer Nationals, but they did get one in last week Tuesday night in Benton, Missouri, and the ageless wonder Billy Moyer picked up the win. That was his 103rd, I believe, Summer Nationals win of his career. Also Tuesday night in Ramseyville, New York, the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds, Stuart Friesen picked up the win there. Wednesday night, Fergus Falls, Minnesota, the I-94 Speedway for the World of Outlaw Late Models, another $12,000 up for grabs, and Bobby Pierce took the win on that one. Thursday night, Indianapolis, Indiana. This is a pavement track, but it's a dirt series at IRP for the USAC Silver Crown Series. The Hoosier 100, which was rained out over the Memorial Day weekend. They've made up that one on Thursday night. Dakota Armstrong was your winner. Pavement Midgets were also there. Kyle Hamilton grabbed the win in that. Friday night at Chilton's Gravity Park Speedway in the LS Late Models was Marcus Hopner. Modifieds was Jesse Cullen, and the Grand Nationals was Marshall Plate. Seymour, the Outagamie County Speedway for the Dirt Kings Late Model Series. Nick Anvilink picked up the win on that one. IMCA Stock Cars went to Jerry Walensky. Luxembourg Speedway for the IMCA Modifieds, Travis Hansen was your winner. IMCA Stock Cars was Nick Bakarma. Darlington, Wisconsin, the Lafayette County Speedway, the Limited Lates went to Blaze Waters, and the IMCA Modifieds went to Joe Henefeld. Up at Superior's Gondik Law Speedway in the Wissota Late Models, Kevin Burdick was your winner. Modifieds went to Jody Belfoulier. Menominey's Red Cedar Speedway for the Wissota Late Models, Chad Mater the winner. Wissota Mods went to Caden Blauser. USRA Limited Lates was Josh Wallstrom. Cedar Lake Speedway in Richmond, Wisconsin for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. David Gravel picked up the win there Friday night. Bill Baylog with a nice run, finishing in third. Way out in Billings, Montana, the Big Sky Speedway. That's the first time I think we've mentioned that one on this part of the program. The High Limit Sprint Car Series was there. Rico Abreu grabbed the win. They were supposed to run a 2-day show, but it rained there. Even rains in Montana. It rained there yesterday. Grand Forks, North Dakota, the River Cedar Speedway for the World of Outlaw Late Model Series. Bobby Pierce, another $12,000. Let's see, 12, 24, that's $36,000 since Monday. It's a pretty good week for him. Also, Friday night, Sauber, Pennsylvania for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Firecracker 100. They had twin preliminary features. Ricky Thornton Jr. and Brandon Shepard grabbed the wins there on Friday night. All right, last night at Plymouth, in the late models, Nick Anvilink picked up the Super 6 feature win last night. MSA 360 Sprints is Ben Schmidt, and the Grand Nationals was Matthew Urban. A reminder, Plymouth is running on Thursday night this coming week, not Saturday night. So a July 2nd special. They're going to have the non-wing sprints, the 360 sprints, 3,000 to win for the late models. A-mods are going to be there, and street stock. So a potpourri of different cars there on Thursday night. A lot of people have off on Friday, so make it a night on Thursday.
And with that race being rescheduled from Thursday at LaSalle, we'll see who shows up.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a couple more late models there. We'll see. For 3,000, why not? Also, last night, Francis Crick, the 141 Speedway in the Modifieds. Colton C. was your winner. Stock Cars was Eric Malik. Grand Nationals was Jake Richards. Shawano last night in the Modifieds. Kevin Beck. Stock Cars was Trent Nolan. Wilmot Speedway last night for the IRA Wingless Sprints. Ralph Johnson was your winner. Modifieds was Jaden Fryer. Preston Roof finished second in that wingless sprint race. He's so close to getting his first win. He's family of mine, so I got to mention that. Rice Lake last night was Wissota Mods. Mike Anderson, USRA Limited Lates was Josh Wallstrom. Ashland ABC Raceway for the Wissota Modifieds, Justin Weinbarger was your winner. Peevely, Missouri, I-55 Speedway for the IRA 410 Sprints. Joel Myers Jr. with a late pass to pick up the win in that one. New Richmond, Wisconsin, Cedar Lake Speedway, night number 2 for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Sheldon Howdenchild with a absolutely sensational feature. If you get a chance to watch that one, him and Buddy Kofoid put on a heck of a race. Bill Baylog finished 5th. Scotty Thiel finished 12th. Butler, Michigan last night for the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Cars. Kyle Cummins was your winner. And finally, Sauber, Pennsylvania, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the big Firecracker 100, $50,000 to win for them last night. It went to Devin Moran, and that is everything for this week.
All right, on to the asphalt side of things. Last Sunday at Slinger, the Midwest Truck Series winner was Robbie, the ASA Stars Super Late Model winner, Carson Brown. Ty Majeski and Stephen Nassie completed the podium. On Tuesday, the Stars Tour moved on to Madison for the Capital 200. Kyle Steckley ran away with that win. Carson Brown second. Ty Majeski rounded out the podium there. On Thursday night over at Kaukauna at Wisconsin International Raceway, the winner was the Weepers on the half-mile track. No racing on that, but they did do some quarter-mile racing. Then on to Friday, Arca Menards West at Sonoma. Sam Corey was the winner there. Golden Sands Speedway Super Late Model winner, Race Hayes. Yesterday, Arca was racing up at Elko Speedway. Max Reeves was the winner.
Our favorite driver.
Yeah, another douchey canoe. Ty Fredrickson, though, was in the race. He finished third, so good showing for the local boy. South Boston Speedway had a 200-lap late model stock car feature, and the winner was Caden Honeycutt. Carson Brown was there, too. He finished fourth. Caden Quapple, sixth, and Tristan McKee, 16th. The Cars Tour Southwest versus Northwest Pro Late Models at Evergreen Speedway out in Washington State. The winner was Keelan Harvick. His dad, Kevin, was second. Marshfield Super Speedway had a pair of CWRA Super Late Model races. The feature wins were both swept by Mark Mackesy. Jefferson Speedway Late Model feature was Blake Nottestead. Congrats to him.
The next generation of Nottesteads.
Indeed. And La Crosse Speedway had a pair of late model features as well, and Jacob Gady swept both of those. And then, of course, last night at Dells Raceway Park, the 602 feature winner was Tanner Berge, and the Alive for 5 series continues with Gabe Summers, Parkener in Victory Lane. And that's
good race.
That.
Good race. Yeah, my favorite junior high school principal had led the first 50 laps of that thing, and you could see Gabe Summers coming. And when Jesse Bernhagen, there wasn't much he could do, except watch the rear view. Here he comes. And a very impressive win for Gabe Summers last night for sure. By the way, a couple things. Carson Brown, who won the ASA race on Sunday night at Slinger Speedway, has announced he's going to race the Slinger Nationals. That is not a surprise. But what is a surprise? No, it's not. Sorry. Dan Casey has already taken money for the lap money for the Slinger National. So if you're going to be at Slinger, look for Dan. He's a very visible guy. And, you don't want to stand in line just to donate $20 per lap for the Slinger Nationals. That's one of the reasons Carson Brown has come. What did it pay last week at Slinger? Was it 15, Dan?
It was 15.
15?
Yep, 15.
Slinger Nationals are what, 20 plus lap money, right?
Correct.
For 125 less laps. You talk about intense. That's going to be it. It's coming up on the 14th, right?
Yes, July 14th is the Tuesday night is when the feature will be. Monday, July 13th, they now have a CRA Pro late model race. If you saw that, they moved the one from IRP over to Slinger. So it'll be a 100-lap race for those guys, $7,500 to win for that. That's a pretty big deal. Oh. And then, of course, the bracket challenge, the new thing to see who's the bracket, the top 32 teams from practice. I got to square off to try to win $5,000 on a head-to-head type deal. It'd be kind of cool to see all that. The reason they're doing the lap money early this year is they kind of want to get stuff, instead of doing everything on Monday and Tuesday, they can get some in the bank, so to speak, early, and they have the opportunity to get more on Monday and Tuesday as well to make that go even higher.
Outstanding. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with some more good stuff right after these messages.
As we wish America a happy 250th birthday, there's no better gift than cold hard cash. For someone else, that is. Let's go racing!
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. It's a pre-holiday Thursday night special. The Independence 30 late models racing for $3,000 to win and $1,776 for the 360 sprints and special guest A-Mods plus Wisconsin wingless sprints and street stocks. Dirt flies at 5:30. Tickets $25 for adults, kids 6 and under, free with paying adults. Check out PlymouthDTR.com for details.
Experience the roar and excitement of stock car racing at the world's fastest quarter-mile oval, the Slinger Super Speedway. Good Boy Vodka Veterans Night. Free admission for all current and past military. Gates open at 5, racing at 6:30. Affordable family fun for everyone. Kids 8 and under get in free, and it's just $40 for a family of 5. Don't miss the action. Get your tickets now at SlingerSuperspeedway.com. That's SlingerSuperspeedway.com.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
A couple little notes yet. Guy Fieri, or as he calls himself, Fieri. He's a cook. He's a
chef. He's a chef.
A chef.
He has restaurants.
Yes. Diners, drive-ins, and dives. He's the guy that does that show. He is the new, quote, strategic owner of Legacy Motorsports. Jimmy Johnson, Richard Petty, that group. I don't know other than, it sounds to me like they ran into each other in a bar and Guy Fieri says, "Hey, I'd like to own part of that team." "Oh, sure. Here, give me $1 million and you can say you own part of the team." I'm wrong about that, but it seems like that might have something to do with it.
Alcohol may have been a factor.
A factor, may or may not. We cannot confirm or deny. Here's a good one. NASCAR, in an effort to make short track racing better, they're no longer permitting energy absorbing foam in the bumpers, either front or rear, on short tracks. Wilkesboro, Richmond, Bristol, Martinsville.
I think that's actually a good move, because that's going to allow maybe some bumping and banging to actually create a little more drama in the race, if you will. So if you don't have your stuff braced well enough, then it's going to cause a little aero issue for them.
And good, it might make for some better racing, because the short track racing has been a little sucky. Let's take a look at our picks last week. I'm looking this list over. Not a one of us took Corey Heim. Not a one of us. Well, of course, we were the one assignment we did have is give us a winner that won't be SVG. I'm looking this list over, and there's a bunch of pretenders on this thing. Do I think Hocevar or Gibbs, your front row, is going to win this thing today? Hell no. It's the SVG show. I am sorry. I can't. He won the Norp race yesterday. He's going to win today with a car that isn't as good as everybody else's. If I picked anyone else, it would just be a bunch of bullshit anyway. So, I hate to say it, but I'm just going to take SVG and be done with it. Who's next?
I'll take Blaney.
Okay.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, Todd, because this is his last road course race of the year now. We're only in June, and this is it for road course racing. So if SVG don't win today, he's probably not going to win another race the rest of the year. So I'm going with SVG as well.
Okay.
I'll probably take Zillich just to kind of keep him honest and hope that he can see what happens, because I don't want everybody picking SVG. But you counted out Ty Gibbs. That could have been a good competition meeting last week when the guy that your mom won't hire for your team went out and won the race. And is there any kind of motivation there to go get this one?
There's truth there.
Maybe on Gibbs, but I'll go with Connor Zillich.
And just so you know, Blaney was fast in practice, okay? He may not have qualified very well, but neither did SVG.
That's, from where he usually does, I would agree with that. Hey, help. No, if I asked my friend Scott Hansen, he could explain it to me, but who the hell is Kyle Steckley? Where did he come from? Dan, you're the one that knows this sort of thing.
I think he's from Canada.
He's a Canadian?
Yes, and he drove last year for the 30 car, which
Rhett Jones, right? I think he was with Rhett Jones Racing last year. Ran the full series of 33 car.
Right, it was the same car that I think that Casey Roderick is in now this year. So now he moved over to the Wilson car for this year and got the win. So he was pretty stout on Tuesday.
He sure was. He sure had a hell of a race.
That was the reason why we had the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, he was the guy that created. I couldn't hear it anyway. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks for downloading this program and enjoying it all week long. For all of us involved with the program, we want you to keep in mind that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losi, and for all of us involved, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.